Okay, party people, Darren is back and I've chosen my monochromatic color scheme today. We're gonna talk about the best tire dressing. What do you think is the best tire dressing, and what are the metrics by which you use to judge the best anyways? Do you want the best shine? Do you want the longest lasting? Do you want the cheapest? Like literally, which is why I hate that word, the best. Like define best for me. Then I can answer the question as to what I think is the best product. Well, this is the best for me because it has what I do want and it has what I don't want. So let's start there. What do I want in a tire dressing? Well, what I do want is some shine. I want some protection or conditioning for my sidewall. That's what I do want. What I don't want is greasy, oily, grungy, sloppy, hyper shine, and I don't want sling on the side of my car. That's what I don't want. So this represents the winning balance for me. Now let me go deeper down that rabbit hole and let me talk about the nuances of the chemistry and what makes this chemically unique. And that is what's called true waterborne technology. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that I use a comparison with latex paint. Now, if you know anything about paint, and if you're old enough and you happen to be watching this video, you remember back in the day when I was a kid, many, many years ago, we had what's called oil-based paint. Those were superior, but they were also caustic to the environment, not so good for our health. So we came with all these regulations called VOC compliant, and we had to start formulating things with water. But just because something has water in it does not make it true waterborne technology. So let me clarify that for you because it is important. Now you may think that if it's waterborne technology, it's inferior because it's going to wear out sooner than later. Well, that's not necessarily true, which is why I use the comparison of latex paint. Why do I use the comparison of latex paint? Well, think about it. Latex paint, the kind of paint that you use in your house, when it's wet, you can clean it up with water. But once it's dry, no longer will water break it down. So what happens is this. The product, in this case the tire dressing, the CSi Nu Tyre Lotion, is formulated with the water molecule as the carrier for the active or the inert ingredients of this product. Those are the good stuff. That's the good stuff that you want left on your tire sidewall. So what happens is because the water molecule carries those other molecules with it, you apply it to your sidewall like you're painting your walls, and now what happens is the water molecules evaporate, thus leaving the wanted ingredients or the chemicals on your tire sidewall, which creates this shine, which is unique because if it really is like latex paint, which in certain attributes it is, it's a water-based, waterborne technology. So once that dries, you've created a permanent layer, and really I should clarify that as a semi-permanent layer, which means that it's not going to break down easily with just water. You're going to have to use some kind of chemical detergent grease cutter in order to break it down, which is the good news because it's going to last. It's not going to just wash off after the first washing. And wait for it, perhaps more importantly, is it's not going to create any sling. You'll notice that on my rear rocker panel down here, there's, wait for it, 0 tire sling. I love that. Also, what that means too is that you could literally layer this tire dressing. Yes, I know that word layering, the industry likes to use it in the context of talking about waxes or sealants and how you can layer it because if one layer is good, well then 2 layers must be better. But how would you really quantify that because you can't measure it? Well, this, you could actually quantify it. You could come in, apply it, wait for it to dry, and apply a new layer, just like if you were painting the walls on your house. You put the first layer on, it dries, and you realize, oh, guess what? It hasn't covered it enough, as in it hasn't hidden the paint color below enough because the layer was not thick enough. So what do? You allow it to dry and you apply a second layer and sometimes a third layer in order for full, complete coverage that does not allow any of that bottom color to bleed through. That's how you know you're able to layer it. The same thing happens with this tire dressing. One of the many winning attributes of it. So that's why in Darren's world, this is the best tire dressing, but hopefully I have deliberated enough as to the metrics I use in coming to that conclusion of why this is the best. No tire sling, true waterborne technology. It's not hyper gloss, but it's nonetheless very shiny. I literally can layer it if I want. So to me, that's a winning combination. Always check below the videos. There's going to be links that will take you to my website where I go into further detail if you want it. If not, if you want to just get some for yourself, that's the place to do it. Thank you for tuning in. Give it a thumbs up if you learned anything at all, even if it was a one single thing. And if you did, by the way, give me a comment below. Let me know what you learned about anything I discussed within this video. And it's not just for my viewing pleasure or my reading pleasure, it's for all the guys and girls that are coming after the fact and they're going to read your comments also. So with that said, I'll end there. Thanks for tuning in and we'll see you on the very next video.